Somebody said they thought that y'all were looking in vehicles. That makes you a suspicious person, and I'm trying to get some identification.
Suspicious person, is that a misdemeanor or a felony?
I'll tell you what, go and take your hands out of your back, face away from me. Put your hands behind your back. Where do y'all want to start from? I'm asking for your identification. You're required to give it under these circumstances.
Hello, and welcome back to Legal Dissent, where we evaluate your constitutional rights before they're taken away. We created this channel to help inform and educate people to make them aware of what's going on in our country today. But we need your help to spread this vital message. Please subscribe right now if you think that our constitutional rights are important. Today we answer the questions of when do you have to identify yourself to police, what constitutes a Terry frisk, and what police are allowed to do when frisking you as we analyze a video live streamed by News Now Community on January 20th, just about 2 weeks ago. They were walking down the street in Jersey Village, Texas, when Officer Zatzkin approached them because of an alleged anonymous complaint that the two men were looking inside of cars and acting suspiciously.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Somebody said they thought y'all were looking in some vehicles.
Which one?
I don't know. Which vehicles were you looking at?
Oh, which one did they say?
That they didn't specify. They said y'all were looking in some vehicles and they didn't know what y'all were up to. You have some ID?
I don't think we're up to anything.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just walking.
Yeah, that's just the call that I got.
You need my driver's license?
Please.
Well, you're not driving.
Well, can I ask
It doesn't, because somebody said that y'all were looking in some vehicles.
Can I ask
Or
why?
Somebody said they thought that y'all were looking in vehicles. That makes you a suspicious person, and I'm trying to get some identification.
Suspicious person, is that a misdemeanor or a felony?
I'll tell you what, go and take your hands out of your back, face away from me. Put your hands behind your back. Where do y'all want to start from? I'm asking for your identification. You're required to give it under these circumstances.
The officer here is wrong. In the state of Texas, this is governed by the Texas Penal Code Section 38.02, subsection A. A person commits an offense if he intentionally refuses to give his name, residence address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person and requested the information. The condition precedent to being in violation of the statute is that the police officer has lawfully arrested the individual. To be lawfully arrested, an officer must have probable cause that a crime has been or is being committed as determined in Henry v. United States. At this point in time, the News Now community auditors have only been detained, and there is absolutely, without a doubt, zero probable cause for Officer Zatzkin to arrest them. Therefore, they are not required to give identification to the officer. I do want to point out here, though, that Texas, like many other states, make it illegal to give a false name to the police when detained. So if you are asked for identification, it's better to say nothing at all than to make something up.
Are you going to handcuff me, or are you just going to treat me like crap for no reason?
I guess I'm going to handcuff you unless you're going to give me your identification for failure to identify.
Okay, state of Texas, I only have to identify if I've been lawfully arrested.
You're detained right now.
Okay, state of Texas, I only have to identify myself if I've been lawfully arrested. That's 3802.
That's incorrect.
Corporal, you don't want to
detained.
make a mistake.
What's that?
Call your sergeant.
I'm a supervisor.
Okay.
I'm asking for ID because y'all have been called a suspicious person.
Okay.
I have suspicious grounds to detain y'all.
Your body cam is on. Just
My body cam is on.
tone this down.
I understand that.
We don't have to go this route.
I'm asking
We're
for
just talking at this point.
That's correct.
Just tone it down. Let's just talk this through.
I need some identification.
Okay, I asked you for what reason?
And I've already told you that.
And you're trying to cuff this guy for what?
Because failure to identify.
Okay, that's only if you're under arrest for a crime.
You are detained right now.
For what?
But I'm trying to do that without...
Detained for what, sir?
For what crime?
Suspicious activity. I'm trying to
Okay,
get you
that's not a
identified.
crime. It's not a misdemeanor. It's not a felony. Those are crimes. Suspicious activity is not a crime, and it's subjective. What you think is suspicious may be perfectly normal to me. So, if you're going to cuff me up, let's go.
Okay.
Don't have me standing here all day because you don't know the law. I haven't broken the law. Okay, you don't get to go into my pocket. Okay, man, oh man. The chief in his office?
Turn around.
Okay, go live, Patrick. Okay, you do not get to go into my wallet and take that out. You don't get to go into my pockets unless you find a weapon.
Come on over here with me.
The auditor here is correct. What the officer just did is unbelievably wrong and illegal. In Terry versus Ohio, the Supreme Court held that an officer who has legally detained an individual is able to conduct a carefully limited search of the outer clothing of such persons in an attempt to discover weapons which might be used to assault him. However, the ultimate touchstone of the Fourth Amendment is reasonableness. A Terry frisk is designed to allow a police officer to search for weapons, not for identification. The officer retrieving the auditor's wallet and then removing his ID from that wallet is not reasonable because it is not reasonable to believe that a wallet is a weapon or that a weapon is concealed within the wallet. After some more discussion, the officer places the auditor inside the car and then frisks the other auditor.
You really need to get the chief out here.
Hop on in.
I'll be glad to.
Come with me. Face away from me.
What are you doing, dude?
Checking you for weapons.
I don't have any weapons. This is ridiculous.
Where's your ID?
What's that?
Your identification.
Well, I'm not going to tell you that because then you're going to say I gave you permission to get it out of my pocket, which I'm not. Don't go in my pocket. You just said you don't.
Oh, walking down the sidewalk, it's not a crime. Looking at a car is not a crime.
If I have suspicious circumstances, I have a right to identify somebody. It's illegal not to.
No, you do not. 3802, pull it out, look it up. 3802, you only have to identify if you've been lawfully arrested. I cannot believe you guys don't know this.
You understand that's arrestable?
It's not arrestable.
I'm trying to make this real simple.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. I can quote you 3802 word for word. A person commits an offense if he has been lawfully arrested and fails to provide his name and
I don't know
address.
what's going on unless I ask questions. What if someone's trying to break into your car? Would you want me to find out?
I didn't stop you from asking questions, but you look what you've done. Look at what you've done.
This is where you brought us because I didn't try to do this.
I didn't bring you here.
I just simply asked for
All
your
I did was walk down a public
because I
street.
had a lawful reason to ask for your
All right.
ID.
I'm
because
done
of
talking to
suspicious
you. I'm done talking to you.
The officer is right. He had a lawful reason to ask for their identification. However, like many other police, when they realize they've gone too far, he starts altering the story, which is why it is so important that you record every single interaction with the police. The officer did not just ask for ID. He also Terry frisked both auditors and conducted an invasive search on the auditor sitting in the police car and removed the auditor's ID from his wallet. If not for video evidence, the officer's account of the incident would be the one believed in court. At this point, the officer allegedly calls the DA's office to secure a warrant to arrest the auditors. I can't prove it, but I'm pretty confident the officer didn't even make the call. It was not on the phone with anyone based on his side of the conversation and the way he holds his phone. Either way, here's what happens next.
And we talked to you.
Even that's not sufficient for failure to ID. 3802 says lawfully arrested.
All I had was a report of somebody saying
Unbelievable.
It's just an investigative detention.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It doesn't even qualify for investigative detention. You guys are stupid.
Okay.
Stupid.
It is a C, failure to identify.
If you've been lawfully arrested.
Yes. So we can stand her.
Guys, before this gets out of hand,
It's already out of hand. You've deprived me of my freedom.
What's going on?
We're walking down the street.
But do y'all live here? What are y'all doing here?
We're walking down a public street. It doesn't matter what we're doing, as long as we're not breaking the law.
Sure. All right. Okay. All right. So it is a Class C.
It is not.
And you all can be arrested for the Class C if I choose to do
If you
so.
have an initial charge,
That's from the
just like
district. That's from the
resisting
district
arrest.
attorney's
Just like
office.
resisting arrest. You
The
can't just
district
arrest
attorney's
someone for
office.
resisting
I had
arrest.
All right, charge me.
I had
Charge me.
reasonable-
Charge me. Charge me.
I had reasonable
Charge me.
suspicion.
Cuffs off.
Charge me.
I can.
Charge me.
Step over here.
Unbelievable. Do you not have the penal codes with you? Do you not have the
I
statute?
just called an attorney, the district attorney's office.
Unbelievable.
The reasonable suspicion is a lawful reason to detain and identify.
Not arrest somebody.
Detain.
Not arrested,
The
you're
detain.
detained.
Detain. Detain. Look up the statute. 3802. Lawfully arrested is the only time you are required to identify yourself in
What it
Texas.
says, it's in the penal code. That's the law. What do you have to say about that?
I've already explained.
So-
Reasonable. This is a reasonable detention. They have a right to
Okay.
identify.
Okay, so you have a right to ask, not identify.
No, I have a right to identify, which means I can.
What
If
penal
I
code is
don't do that, I can take you out to the jail and APHIS you to get you identified.
Again, the officer is completely wrong, and then he attempts to use threats to get his way.
Okay, you can APHIS us that you're gonna have to let us go because you don't have a charge.
You know,
They-
Class C, failure to identify.
That's if
You've already robbed me of my
identification.
identification. You get into my wallet. You stole my driver's license out of my
You took
wallet.
his driver's license.
You stole
That's
it.
what I did.
He's
You
not
stole
under
it.
arrest. You said
You
just
stole
said
it.
Detained, not under arrest. You can't go through
A
someone's
Terry
pocket
frisk doesn't let you go into somebody's pocket
unless they're arrested.
unless there's a weapon.
Tell you what, what's your knees?
Hold on. Go ahead.
Arrest for a Class C.
He said you're under arrest. I got your bond.
Okay, guys, we're live here with News Now Houston,
They're arresting us for failure to ID in Jersey Village, Texas.
Jersey Village, Texas.
Come on, guys, get on the phone.
We need help getting out of jail, guys.
Jersey Village, Texas.
We don't do anonymous reportings, so hop out. You're getting uncuffed.
Oh, so
Oh,
now
I'm
under arrest.
unarrested?
You're undetained.
He just told me I was arrested.
No, I told you were detained.
You
I
told
you
us
several
we're in the
times.
car. You're taking us to jail for a Class C.
No, we don't have a. It was an anonymous.
Unbelievable.
Caller. So we don't do that.
These cuffs?
Yes, sir. Can you give me your arm this way? Thank you.
Before I'm done, you guys will have extensive knowledge of 3802. This is
Yes,
bullshit.
sir. I understand.
No, you don't understand yet.
I understand.
No,
didn't
you
give
don't
a
understand
fictitious-
yet. You don't.
You didn't give a fictitious.
No,
identification.
no.
You gave no identification.
I gave no identification. Can I have my driver's license back, please? The one you stole out of my pocket? Now you don't even know what you
This is
did
your
with it?
driver's license, sir. Yep, sorry about that.
All right, I'm headed to the station.
Sorry for the delay to your interruption to your day.
Oh, not as sorry as you will be.
Yes, sir.
Patrick, let's go. Let's go see the chief. We'll start with the chief, and we'll go from there.
How do you say your name, sir?
Satskin?
Zaskin?
Yes, sir.
So we're not arrested. We're not under arrest.
You are no longer detained.
No longer
You-
detained.
You've been detained. You're free to go.
How many times did you say you were under arrest?
I didn't say you were arrested. I said
You were
you
calling
were
the DA.
detained.
You did say he was under arrest. You said he was under arrest for a Class C misdemeanor failure to ID.
So why did you
That's
go
what
in
you
his man's
said.
pockets?
To get his ID.
And did he say you
Who
can't?
told you that? Who told you could do that? Where does that come from? That's not a Terry frisk. Terry frisk doesn't let you go in my pockets unless there's a weapon. You don't get to go in my wallet.
We'll see you in court. We'll see you in
All
court.
right, I'll take care.
This is really unbelievable. It's pretty obvious that once the officer puts the auditors in the car planning on arresting them on the bogus failure to identify charge, the other officer stepped in and said that he couldn't legally do that. They tried to save face with the "we don't take anonymous complaint" story, but that's simply not true. Well done to the auditors in this video, knowing their rights and standing up to a bully. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time right here on Legal Dissent.